According to the records, the Dave incident is the greatest evidence that Michael Jackson is alive. After this incident, millions of Michael Jackson fans began to believe that Michael Jackson was alive.
I have clearly compared the voices and faces of Michael Jackson and Dave for you. Here is a new analysis video. When you watch it until the end, you will definitely believe that he is still among us.
A limitation of my own imagination.
It was kind of,
I just feel there's so much more. I don't think I've ever done a project where I was totally happy with it.
All these Paul McCartney records.
I think the next one is always the toughest one.
You know, this and that.
Because people expect more and more. And no matter how good it is, I go, well, it wasn't as good as, but I liked it, you know, that type of thing. So that's what makes it difficult. Because when I did Off the Wall, people always said to me, they would say, you can't top Off the Wall. You just cannot. I mean, here you had like 4 top 10 singles in this album. It's never been done before. And it's so 10 million albums.
We embraced,
and they go, how can you can't beat that?
Never ended
and I said, well, I'll just do my best. But I like it, you know, that type of thing.
Kind of.
It was kind of,
I think so. It's a cousin of the same creative intent, I
was
think.
very impromptu. All these Paul McCartney records.
You let it create itself.
The Girl's Mine, and you know, this and that.
In my opinion,
and
it has to be
I remember sitting down, and at the time, my favorite video games.
A linear sense.
My favorite video game was Pole Position, and I was playing Pole Position, and I felt a little tap on my shoulder.
And not just be a collage of images.
And there was Michael.
You know,
and
sometimes
you know
that's
what, Larry?
great too. It depends on
at
what
that moment we
embraced, as a visionary,
and that embrace
really.
Never ended throughout our whole.
They were supposed to go in and just check fingerprints and do the whole thing that they do when they take somebody in. They manhandled me very roughly.
My
shoulder is dislocated.
All over the Girl's Mine, and you know, this and that.
You know, and
I remember sitting down. And at the time, my favorite video game, my favorite video game was Pole Position, and I was playing Pole Position.
That's very important.
And
I'm just very sensitive to their pain. I'm very sensitive to.
And I turned around,
the family,
and there was Michael,
the human condition.
And you know what, Larry? At that moment, we embraced, and that embrace never ended throughout our whole entire friendship. Records all over
like I said
the
before,
Girl's Mine, and you know, this and that.
If there were no children on this earth,
I remember sitting down, and at the time, my favorite
jump off the
video
balcony
games
immediately.
My favorite video game was Pole Position.
And rumors and
I was
vicious
playing
and
Pole
evil
Position.
and ugly. That is garbage. Don't buy it.
My shoulder.
Don't buy into it and don't believe
and
it. I have to be able to create.
And you know what, Larry?
Something.
At that moment, we embraced, and that embrace never ended throughout our whole entire friendship.
I have to give it out.
My favorite video game was Pole Position.
In the last 2 weeks, a
and
large amount of ugly, malicious information has been released into the media about me. Apparently, this information was leaked through transcripts in a grand jury proceeding.
And you know what, Larry?
Neither my lawyers
at
nor
that
I
moment,
ever appeared.
We embraced,
the information
and that embrace never ended throughout our whole entire friendship.
I allowed a family to visit and spend time in Neverland.
It was kind of
Neverland is my home.
The visit to his Encino house was very impromptu. All these Paul McCartney records, all over the Girl's Mine, and you know, this and that. And I remember sitting down, and at the time, my favorite video games. My favorite video game was Pole Position, and I was playing Pole Position.
I love my community, and I have great.
In the last few weeks, a large amount of ugly, malicious information has been released into the media
you know
about
what, Larry?
me. Apparently,
at that moment,
this information was leaked through transcripts in a grand jury proceeding, where neither my lawyers nor I ever appeared.
On the day of Michael's burial, which took place 3 months after the date of his death, there was a special guest on Larry King's program on CNN. Michael's close friend Dave was a guest of Larry King to talk about his friend Michael. But there was something interesting going on. Michael's fans who were watching the live broadcast were getting suspicious. Most fans thought that the person on the program was definitely Michael Jackson. They were not wrong in their thinking. because there was an obvious difference between the real Dave and the person on the program. Their facial expressions, shoulder width, voice, and eyes were very different. His eyes looked a lot like Michael Jackson's. He sounded just like Michael Jackson. His fans were starting to believe that Michael Jackson was alive now. That's exactly what Michael wanted, because Michael's fans were very upset about Michael's death. There were even reports that some of his fans had ended their own lives. Michael was on live TV doing crazy action. He wanted to relieve their sadness by giving a message to his fans that he was alive. That's why he was looking nervously at the camera as if he was saying, "I'm here, I'm alive." He had no doubt that his fans would recognize him. Millions of his fans after. This incident said that they started to believe Michael is alive after this. But why did Michael use Dave's disguise for this?
To understand the connection, you can watch my other video where I explain Dave's tragic life and his connection with Michael Jackson.